Deep in the heart of the forest, under the shade of tall trees, lived a little porcupine. He was all alone. He had no mother, no father, no brothers or sisters. He didn't know where he had come from, but ever since he could remember, he had been searching for his family. Every day, he walked along winding trails, peeked under bushes, sniffed the air, hoping to catch a familiar scent. But no matter where he looked, his family was nowhere to be found. One sunny afternoon, he saw a small rabbit, a squirrel, and a young fox playing together in a meadow. They were running, jumping, and rolling in the soft grass, laughing as they played. "Can I play with you?" the little porcupine asked shyly. The animals stopped and looked at him. At first they were excited. New friends were always welcome. But as soon as they started playing, something went wrong. The porcupine accidentally poked the rabbit with his sharp quills. "Ouch!" the rabbit yelped, jumping back. "Ow, that's too spiky," the squirrel squeaked. "We can't play with you. You'll poke us all the time," the fox said, frowning. The little porcupine's heart sank. He didn't mean to hurt anyone. He just wanted to have friends. With his head down, he slowly walked away. Days passed, and he wandered the forest alone. Then, one day, near an old tree stump, he met a small turtle. She was chewing on a leaf and smiled when she saw him. "Hi, why do you look so sad?" the turtle asked. "No one wants to play with me," the porcupine sighed. "Well, I don't mind your quills. I have a shell. Let's be friends." From that day on, the little porcupine had a true friend. They played hide and seek, although the turtle was very slow at hiding, told each other stories, and searched for animal tracks in the forest. One afternoon, while they were playing near a giant oak tree, they suddenly heard a faint cry. "Help! Somebody help!" The porcupine's ears perked up. That sounded like the rabbit. He dashed toward the voice, and the turtle followed as quickly as she could. When he reached the meadow, he saw a terrifying sight. A large gray wolf was creeping toward the rabbit, the squirrel, and the fox. The three little animals were frozen in fear. Without thinking, the porcupine bristled his quills and charged straight at the wolf. "Frrr!" he hissed, raising his sharp spines. The wolf let out a startled yelp, took a step back, then turned and ran into the bushes, disappearing into the forest. By the time the turtle arrived, huffing and puffing from her slow journey, everything was safe again. The animals let out a sigh of relief. Then they turned to the porcupine. "You saved us," the squirrel said in amazement. "We were wrong about you," the fox admitted. "I'm sorry we didn't play with you before," the rabbit said softly. "Do you want to be our friend?" The porcupine smiled. "Of course." The turtle suddenly had an idea. "Maybe someone in the forest has seen your family," she said. The squirrel's eyes widened. "I saw them once. I was climbing trees far beyond the hills, and I saw a whole group of animals just like you." The porcupine's heart leaped. "Can you take me there?" "Let's go," the fox said, his tail swishing with excitement. Their journey was long. The squirrel leaped from tree to tree, finding the best paths. The fox carried the turtle on his back so she wouldn't slow them down. The rabbit found apples and nuts along the way so they could all have a snack. And the porcupine walked ahead, his heart pounding with hope. Finally, they reached a wide open clearing. And there, under the golden sunlight, was a whole family of porcupines. They looked just like him, small black noses, round furry faces, and shiny protective quills. As soon as the porcupine stepped forward, one of the older porcupines turned and gasped. "My baby!" she cried. The little porcupine froze. Then, with all his might, he ran to her. His family had been searching for him all this time. His friends watched, smiling, as the porcupine finally found his home. As the sun set, the rabbit, the fox, the squirrel, and the turtle prepared to head back home. "You have your family now," the fox said. "But we're still your friends," the squirrel added. "Come visit us," the rabbit said, twitching his nose. The porcupine hugged the turtle tightly. She didn't mind his quills, and said, "Thank you, friends, I will." And with that, he turned and ran toward his family, his quills standing tall in the golden evening light. The trees swayed gently in the wind, the grass rustled softly, and somewhere far away, the little rabbit, the fox, and the squirrel curled up in their beds, falling asleep with smiles on their faces. Because in this big, wide world, everyone has a place where they belong. Good night,